the last thing I said last week is that the open door shows whether you have confidence in God or you have confidence in yourself. That's what an open door is supposed to do. It's supposed to really show whether your confidence is in God or whether your confidence is in yourself. Because let me tell you, when an opportunity comes, a lot of people sometimes have already taken hold of the opportunity before they remember who God is. Some people, maybe when the thing has started generating some interest, they say, thank you God, thank you Lord. Or sometimes when the door has problems, then they will remember it's time to come and ask pastor to pray. Let's read the scripture, and I want to use this scripture to home in on this thing called little strength tonight. 2 Kings chapter 13. 2 Kings chapter 13. And I'll read from verse 14. Read a few verses. This is a very, 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 very interesting story. And really, up till now, I never really saw it in this light. 2 Kings chapter 13, from verse 14. It says, Now Elisha was falling sick of his sickness, whereof he died. And Joash, the king of Israel, came down unto him and wept over his face, and said, O my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. Quickly, let me just ask, does that sound familiar? My father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. Does it sound familiar? Yeah. Huh? That was the same thing Elisha himself said when Elijah was good friends of the Bible. Verse 15. And Elisha said unto him, Take bow and arrows. And he took unto him bow and arrows. And he said to the king of Israel, Put thy hand upon the bow. And he put his hand upon it. And Elisha put his hands upon the king's hands. And he said, Open the window eastward. And he opened it. Then Elisha said, Shoot. And he shot. And he said, The arrow of the Lord's deliverance and the arrow of deliverance from Syria, for thou shalt smite the Syrians in Aphek, till thou have consumed them. And he said, Take the arrows. And he took them. And he said to the king of Israel, Smite upon the ground. And he smote thrice and stayed. And the man of God was wroth with him, and said, Thou should have smitten 5 or 6 times. Then hadst thou smitten Syria till thou hast consumed it. Whereas now thou shalt smite Syria but thrice. And Elisha died, and they buried him. And the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in of the year. Praise the Lord. Very interesting story. Like a lot of stories in the Bible. Very, very nice. You see, when I read the stories, I like to read it with a lot of passion, because I like to put myself into the stories. I like to visualize and see what was actually happening. See, very interesting story. The king, you see, because to the king of Israel, this man Joash, this Elisha was like a god. Because this man had performed so many miracles. This man had done so many things. And so in the eyes of Joash, this Elisha was a god. And one day they came to him and they told him, and they said, Hey, this man that you are looking to as a god is dying. And this sickness, in fact, he's going to die. Nothing can happen. And so you see, when you see somebody like that who looks untouchable, When you see something like that, it seems as if everything that you hope for and everything that you believed in are totally dashed. And you see, it will shake your faith. It will shake your beliefs. It will shake your confidence. I mean, like a lot of us, I don't know what our confidence is in sometimes. Sometimes for some of us, there are some people we look up to. You know, for people in business, sometimes they ask them, they say, look for somebody who will be like a mentor to you. Somebody who you see who has done well in business, and then you can look at them and say, this person has done well, then I can do well too. Paul says the same thing. He says, follow those who through faith and patience have gone before you. There are people who will look up to and say, oh, if these ones have done well, then there is the chance that I also can do well. Talking about Elijah, I said Elijah was a man like us, but he prayed. Which tells us that if we can pray as well, then things also can happen. And so this man looked up to Elisha and he said, hey, and this man was going to die. And he thought, goodness gracious, he's finished. You know. And he went up to him and he rushed to this man of God. And when he got there, very strange words that he used. My father, my father. The child, I mean, this was it was like his pillar was taken away. You see, but little did he know that, I believe, God was using this thing to bring about great restoration in the land of Israel. You see, he didn't know. In fact, he thought that he was grieving. Let me tell you the truth. He thought that everything that he believed in was being shaken, because he was having problems with people who were going to come and invade the city. You see, he was having great issues in believing and in trusting in the fact that the things that he looked to, the things that he trusted in, that God actually, who could change situations through somebody, but the person was going to die. So who was the person who was going to bring relief? Elisha was a man. He knew that if Elisha was there, look, nothing can happen. Elisha would at least bring the counsel of God. He will bring the word of God, or he will do something miraculous. But now, if the man who will bring the miraculous to bear was going to die, then what's the hope? So he ran to him, crying to him, and said, my father, the chariots of Israel. Meaning that everything that we can muster, because chariots in those days were the sign of the strength of an army. To them, the chariots were like tanks that we have now, or the strength or the arsenal of an army. So what he was saying to him was that, look, Elisha, you are the one who, you are everything, you know, and if you're going to die, then what hope do we have? See, let me tell you something. The disappointments that we have, the troubles that we have, let me tell you, there is script for you. I'm going to show you some things now, and I'm sure just like me, when I read this story and I looked at this thing, it blew my mind. You see, this man ran to him and said, Elisha, look, you're dying. What are we going to do? There is trouble. Look, these people are going to invade the land. And Elisha looked at him. I'm sure like a man who knew the counsel of God, who knew the word of God, who knew that God, who says, my thoughts towards you are thoughts of good and not of evil, to bring you to an expected end. This man, at least, if he didn't know anything, he knew the expected end of God. He knows that God does not come into any life to make that life worse than he started out. God, who says concerning every life, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. He knew the counsel of God. And so he said to this man, he said, hey, young man, bring a bow and arrow. And then he told him, he said, look, open the window to the east. I mean, a lot of people have asked why the east. They tell us the sun rises in the east. So it's a source of rising. He said, look, open the window that shows where there is a rising. Don't look towards where there is a setting that if you don't open the west, then everything is going down. He said, but look towards where there is a rising. He said, because when you open that, you can look towards a new rising. And he told this man to shoot this arrow. And when he shot the arrow, look at what he said to him. In fact, before he put before he shot the arrow, he says Elisha put his hand upon his hand. Let me tell you one thing I believe there was that